In a small town's inn, a calm man stands his ground against a group of thugs. Suddenly, the bully gives the order, and his men rise menacingly, rushing towards him, while the townsfolk panic and flee. Despite the tense situation, the man remains unafraid and coolly tells the bully, "Don't ask for trouble." The bully sneers at the man's lone stance, mocking him as no match for the group. However, the man's confidence is not unfounded. A righteous ally interjects, "I am Li Yuan Ting, the flying dagger from Shu, alongside Lu Yuan of Shandong, the Iron Wall, and Tang Shan of the shadowless dart from Xiangxi." At this, the thugs begin to realize that the man before them is not someone to underestimate. Nevertheless, the thugs refuse to back down, drawing their knives and vowing to kill the man. With a slight smile, he effortlessly knocks back two of the thugs with a single strike. As the situation spirals out of control, the bully, furious, grabs two axes, intending to join the fray himself, only to be struck down by the man with a bench. Amidst the chaos, the innkeeper notices the commotion and, worried that her belongings might be damaged, grabs a spatula to join the fight. Despite the turmoil, the skilled fighters, Li and his companions, remain composed. Li throws two flying daggers with pinpoint accuracy at two thugs, while Zhu Jiu uses his shield and knife to fend off nearby enemies, and the shadowless dart keeps launching hidden weapons, leaving the thugs nowhere to escape. After a fierce battle, the thugs are quickly incapacitated. The man then introduces himself. "In the martial world, I'm known as the Lone Wolf. I happen to be passing through here to recruit heroes for the Iron Prince's mansion in the capital to protect a legendary weapon, the Qingming Sword." The Qingming Sword is the matched weapon of Zhong Sanfeng, the founder of Wudang, and many have coveted it, leading to much bloodshed. It was only when the Iron Prince and the Wudang disciple Li Mubai teamed up that they managed to put a stop to the fighting and secure the sword in the Iron Prince's mansion to prevent its theft. However, as time passed and Li Mubai and the Iron Prince both passed away, the martial world began to stir again. To prevent the Qingming Sword from falling into the hands of Evilders, the younger generation of the Iron Prince's mansion decides to call upon the heroine Yu Sholian for protection. She states, "Sorry to drag you into this, but I cannot refuse to help with the troubles of the Iron Prince." Just as Yu Sholian arrives at the mansion, the Western Alliance sends Wei Yifang to infiltrate it, aiming to steal the Qingming Sword. Just when Wei Yifang is about to succeed, a masked woman suddenly appears, stopping him. In their struggle, they accidentally knock over an antique vase, and just as it seems it will break, the woman expertly steadies it without a sound. They continue their fight, and as the woman lands a powerful blow, ripping Wei Yifang's shirt open, she freezes upon seeing the birthmark on his chest. At that moment, Wei Yifang attempts to flee, but is thwarted by the masked woman's shout of "thief," which draws Yu Sholian's attention. With a single move, Yu Sholian subdues Wei Yifang. Recognizing him, she feels a surge of caution and decides to temporarily imprison him in the Iron Prince's mansion to investigate the truth. "Who are you?" Wei Yifang asks. "My name is Xue Ping. I came to pay respects to the prince," she replies. "Are you concerned about that thief?" Wei Yifang questions. "Not concerned, just curious," Xue Ping explains. Seeing she is merely a guest of the mansion, Yu Sholian lowers her guard. However, with unrest in the martial world and the Western Alliance infiltrating the mansion, she resolves to keep Xue Ping there and put up a notice calling for heroes to protect the Qingming Sword. Upon seeing the notice, the Lone Wolf immediately heads to the Iron Prince's mansion with Li and others. Li is assigned to guard the south gate, ready for any potential enemies. Meanwhile, Dai Yangwang waits anxiously for Wei Yifang's report, dissatisfied. He orders, "Take people to retrieve the Qingming Sword for me. Others should lie in ambush outside the capital to kill any sects coming to assist. Kill anyone you encounter, and strike down anyone in the way." Following the order, Duan Hunyan leads a large force to storm the Iron Prince's mansion to seize the Qingming Sword. However, he encounters numerous masters of the mansion. Reluctantly, Duan Hunyan resorts to using sheer numbers, gathering more men to hold off the experts. At the same time, he attempts to find his trapped companion, Wei Yifang, to extract the sword's whereabouts. At this moment, Xue Ping appears before Duan Hunyan, blocking his path. They engage in a fierce battle, but after dozens of exchanges, Xue Ping finds herself at a disadvantage, losing her sword to Duan Hunyan. In a critical moment, Wei Yifang betrays the location of the Qingming Sword. The Qingming Sword is in the East Garden. Duan Hunyan immediately turns and instructs Zhu Yunyu to head to the East Garden to retrieve the sword. However, when Zhu Yunyu opens the sword case, she finds it empty. The Qingming Sword is here, you can neither see it nor take it. Just as they prepare to duel, Xiao Bail suddenly barges in. Zhu Yunyu seizes him, threatening, "Let him go and give me the sword, or I'll kill him." Realizing she cannot overpower Yu Sholian, Zhu Yuanyu chooses to flee the Iron Prince's mansion. This mission ends in failure, as the Western Alliance not only fails to seize the sword but also leaves Wei Yifang still trapped in the mansion. Wei Yifang is immensely grateful and asks Xue Ping, "Did you save me?" Xue Ping smiles slightly and replies, "You just have good fortune." She then reveals their family history. It turns out that Wei Yifang's mother, Han Mai, was a famous swordsman in the martial world. Dai Yangwang of the Western Alliance pursued Han Mai to dominate the martial world, forcing her to flee to an inn, where she gave birth to Wei Yifang. To protect her child, Han Mai hid Wei Yifang and entrusted him to Xue Ping's care. Years later, Han Mai ventured into the Western Alliance in search of Wei Yifang, but was gravely injured and ultimately died. Before her death, she used her blood to draw Wei Yifang's birthmark and entrusted Xue Ping to find him, promising to protect him if he was good or kill him if he was bad. After years of searching, Xue Ping finally confirms that Wei Yifang is her brother. "Now I understand our connection," Xue Ping states, unlocking the cage with a hairpin and preparing to free Wei Yifang. "Go as far away as you can, don't return to the Western Alliance." "I promise I won't go back," Wei Yifang vows. However, just as he steps out of the cage, he secretly steals the Qingming sword, intending to escape back to the Western Alliance. Fortunately, the lone wolf catches him in time. "Do you want the sword or your life?" the lone wolf asks. "To me, this sword is more important than life," Wei Yifang insists. Hearing this, the lone wolf stops persuading him and strides forward, initiating a duel. Wei Yifang fights back but is kicked in the calf by the lone wolf and sent flying several meters away. In a dire moment, Wei Yifang's master, Iron Crow, suddenly appears, injuring the lone wolf's arm with his iron claws. Seeing Wei Yifang has an ally, the lone wolf draws his long sword in response. After a fierce standoff, Iron Crow strikes first, and then Wei Yifang joins the fight. Facing their attacks, the lone wolf shows no fear and responds with agility. During the fierce battle, Iron Crow is gravely wounded by the lone wolf and ultimately dies. Wei Yifang escapes with the Qingming sword back to the Western Alliance, preparing to present it to Dai Yangwang. He states, "Your master would be proud of you." "My mother would be proud of me too," Wei Yifang replies, suddenly drawing his sword to stab Dai Yangwang, who narrowly avoids it by leaning back. Wei Yifang's heart ignites with a desire for revenge. He will not let the one who killed his mother escape justice. Seeing this, Dai Yangwang furiously draws his 7-kill knife, preparing to strike Wei Yifang down. Just then, the sound of hoofbeats approaches as the lone wolf and others rush in to assist. Dai Yangwang, unwilling to engage further with Wei Yifang, bellows and kicks him out of the tower, then turns his blade for a fatal blow. "I cannot die like this." Wei Yifang silently curses, throwing the Qingming sword to the lone wolf and shouting, "Take the sword and run, protect it at all costs." The lone wolf catches the sword, understanding that this battle must not be lost. They turn to face Dai Yangwang together. Wei Yifang and the lone wolf once again engage in a fierce duel, one with a sword, the other with a knife. Their moves swift and merciless, the two fight to a standstill, until Yu Sholian, anxious and worried, tries to intervene. Just as she is about to soar to the top of the tower, Zhu Yuanyu suddenly appears, lunging with a long needle, trying to drag her into the darkness. With sharp intuition, Yu Sholian closes her eyes, relying on sound to pinpoint Zhu Yuanyu's true location. She swiftly throws her long knife, striking Zhu Yuanyu in a vital spot, and the attacker collapses, incapacitated. Meanwhile, the lone wolf seizes the opportunity to exploit a flaw in Dai Yangwang's defense, thrusting his sword into his heart. Dai Yangwang winces in pain, despair flickering in his eyes. He murmurs, "It's not we who wield the sword, it's the sword that wields us," and breathes his last. The Qingming sword lies quietly on the ground, as if awaiting a new master. Wei Yifang feels a mix of emotions, satisfaction from revenge and deep longing for his mother. With Dai Yangwang's death, the shadow of the Western Alliance dissipates, and former enemies become mere phantoms. The lone wolf sheathes the Qingming sword and turns to Wei Yifang and Yu Sholian, saying, "We can't let the martial world fall into chaos again. This sword needs a safe place." Yu Sholian nods, resolutely stating, "The Qingming sword must return to Wudang Mountain. It was once a symbol of our martial world, only there can we prevent further conflict." Together, the three embark on the journey back to Wudang Mountain. Along the way, Wei Yifang's mood gradually stabilizes as he recalls his mother's teachings and the time spent in the inn. He understands that he bears not only personal hatred but also the weight of the martial world's future. Finally, they arrive at the foot of Wudang Mountain. The three unite their efforts to place the Qingming sword in the treasure vault of Wudang. Yu Xiaolian softly declares, "May this sword safeguard the peace of the martial world and never again be stained by conflict and hatred." The lone wolf silently agrees, his heart filled with hope for the future. They know that although the martial world remains tumultuous, as long as there are those who care, true peace can be achieved. In the end, the Qingming sword glimmers in the sunlight of Wudang Mountain, seemingly conveying a belief to all: justice will triumph over evil, and peace will once again reign. As the saying goes in the martial world, the greatest heroes are those who fight for their country and its people. The movie concludes, leaving the audience with endless thoughts and hope.